2019 finance bill. I was on social media, reading commentaries on social media, Facebook particularly the other day, and I saw people saying things like, government wants to increase tax, they want to punish us. Is that really the case with the finance bill? What are the implications for the average Nigerian out there?
To increase revenue for government to meet its objectives for 2020. Most budgets that we've ever had are run on budget deficits. So the revenue is never enough for the expenditure. So you have a deficit. Now government it has two ways mostly by which you cover your deficits. Either you borrow or you raise revenue. So I think we have a very huge borrowing bill in Nigeria as it stands. And then another objective is government wants to bring our tax regime to international best practice. So that's when you now come up with all those reforms to the tax laws, to VAT, to capital gains tax that people will talk about. So those are the kind of things. And then government is trying to also show a lot more fiscal probity. By probity I mean transparency. So that's what they want to do by that bill, to make sure that a lot of ambiguity that's in the finance sector in Nigeria with taxes, with treatment of taxes and all sorts that is addressed. For instance, the capital gains tax, so many other ways. And lastly, from my own point of view, government wants to use that fiscal bill to help the small businesses because there's been a lot of talk about it. So government is now saying, look, there are so many things. So we go into the specifics.
Yes. I know that there's a part of the bill that says that if a company, a business is making less than
25 million
in revenue, that they will be exempted from tax. The bill is also increasing VAT from value-added tax from 5% to 7.5%. Isn't this going to affect market prices? And if it is affecting market prices, I remember that when minimum wage was increased to 30,000 naira, people were saying that it's going to affect the cost of goods in the markets. Isn't this verifying their claims that at the end of the day, there's still little or no effect from the increase in minimum wage?
Yeah, VAT, value-added tax, is a tax passed, on value that has been added to goods and services. Now, those items, like you rightfully said, it is borne by the end user. The overall effect will go to the citizens. However, there are some, for companies, for instance, if you are not up to that 25 million threshold again, you are not expected to be to be registered for VAT, as a matter of fact. Now, so VAT is a way of generating money because government, it goes into a consolidated account, and government will tell you that money is meant to be used for services and projects for you, the citizenry. So now, and part of it will come down to paying the minimum wage as well. Because what will happen is that you don't want minimum wage to be paid on paper. So we say we pay you and you are not able to fund it. And you must remember that most governments or people that lend governments money or lenders in the world, they don't lend you money for recurring expenses. So they won't give you money to pay salaries. So you have to get it somewhere. But I think what we should be after more than anything, and I must tell you something again that you won't like to hear. This VAT increment is expected to increase more in the future. Because the benchmark, they said one for Nigeria is very low.
Okay.
They think it's
so
very low.
People in other countries actually even pay more.
Pay more. So they're saying Nigeria, this 7.5 is just like when you say toss for start, they're still going to snap more in the future. I know you won't like to hear that, but that's what it is.
Considering again that while giving an interview, Zainab Sanni, that's the Minister of Finance, was saying that no matter what government does, because the population is higher than the GDP, it would hardly be felt by Nigerians. So what can we use to say that yes, we're paying taxes? We know the things are not looking like, it's not looking like government is working, but at least they are doing something. What are those things? What are the benchmarks? What are the indications that we would see that will be able to make us say, and how do we even track these things so we can be sure that we are not paying taxes in vain?
There are so many ways you can track that the government is working. Number one, infrastructure. So perhaps you can look at the number of, look at the budget. Firstly, go to the budget. And then look at the promises made, capital expenditure side of the budget. That's the one that, the economic part of the budget, social and economic, those are the ones that concern citizens the most. You are not really concerned about the recurring because that's salary, for government workers. If you are a civil servant, fine, but normally that gets paid. So look at the capital side. Look at the kind of programs that government says they will carry out during the year. So to hold government to account is just being aware. You can't hold me to account if you are not even aware of your own rights. So for instance, you might not know that by being here now, I should give you a bottle of water or give you 3 bottles of water. So when you go, I just pocket the bottle of water. So firstly, you need to know that these are the things that I should be watching out for. Best place to start, a budget. If you take an interest, then you can request government to be more accountable. But for you to request government to be accountable, you must be somebody who is performing their responsibilities.
Yeah, civic duty.
Yes,
first.
paying taxes, voting, and all those kind of things.
So at the end of the day, the onus lies on citizens to ensure that things are done the right way.
Yes, because anybody could be in government. You can put somebody in government who has no interest of the citizenry and wants to buy private planes every month, and just buy expensive things and renovate houses every other month.
What are your economic projections, major economic projections for Nigeria in the year 2020?
Well, my projections are that there will be a lot of pushback. I mean, of course, it's the citizens that will bear most of this brunt of the VSSA. So my projections are that it's going to be a very tough year because when you introduce new laws, to implement those laws, enforcement, monitoring, they are tough, and compliance too. People will try as best as possible to avoid those new things, especially when it's really pinches for big companies and even for individuals too.
All right then, thank you once again for joining us on Mineral TV.
Thank you very much.